can leave, but yet you can't sit here and face the consequences, can you?
Listen, I can face whatever comes my way. I can face a like you.
You know your daughter killed your great
I've been out here many
You know your daughter did it.
When Caylee comes home, you will go to hell.
Your daughter's gonna go to hell.
You don't know anything.
Don't get
Yeah, the bodyguard said it.
I'm right here.
I'm right here.
I'm right here.
So wait a minute. So you're more afraid of your mom's reaction than you are if you ever see your daughter again?
You know, I'm absolutely petrified. Absolutely petrified. I know my mom will never forgive me. I'm never going to forgive myself. Because there's that chance that I might not see Caylee again, and I don't want to think about it.
You know, never do we hear any reports of her trying to help find little Caylee. You are hearing stunning audio tapes just released of Mom Casey Anthony's interrogation by police. We are taking your calls live straight out to Natisha Lance, standing by there at the Anthony home. I understand police are there. Why?
Police are here, Nancy, just simply trying to control the protesters who are in the area. And actually, a few minutes ago, I was handed this motion for reconsideration of denial of temporary injunction. There was an injunction that was requested to have protesters move further away from the Anthony home, and in addition, trying to control the hours of which they could be here. That was denied, but now there is this reconsideration. Police are out here trying to control the area, making sure that nobody gets hurt and making sure that the protesters stay pretty calm.
Which lawyer is filing the motions?
That would be Karen Wansettler, and she is with the law firm of Karen Wansettler.
You are seeing a live shot now outside the home. Police back on the scene. I want to go to John Van Aken, bail bondsman, standing by also there at the home. Mr. Van Aken, thank you for being with us. You know, today Casey Anthony posted bond again, and what I don't understand is why her prior bonds have not been revoked, because she has been rearrested. Isn't that a violation of bond? Hold on, I'm gonna come back. Okay, go ahead. Isn't that a violation of the bond?
Well, it is, Nancy, if the incident happened after she was arrested the first time. There's an administrative order here that says that if somebody's out on bond and they get arrested again, they will go before the judge under a no bond on the new charges. Generally what happens, and that's what happened to her last night, she was given a no bond. She went before the judge today, and the judge set the bonds that were typically off the bond schedule that we have here in Orange County. But because those incidents happened prior to when she got arrested for the child neglect, then that didn't count as far as the other bond being revoked. And it's up to the bondsman now. The bondsman could have come off her bond and done what's called an endorsed bond, but they didn't. They chose to write these other bonds.
From what I understand you're saying is she would have to have committed the forgeries and the bad checks after the initial arrest?
In order for her bond
to be revoked.
The first bond to be revoked.
Got it,
Correct.
got it. With me is John Van Aken, bail bondsman, standing there outside the Anthony home. Mr. Van Aken, another question. Why is it that bail bonds people are coming forward now to get her out when they wouldn't come forward on that the original $500,000 bond?
Well, I think there's two things. First, I think somebody else is behind the bond. I know that I've seen the bonds, and the Anthonys are the indemnitors on the bond,
right? And
they had no equity in their house, so I think there's an outside source here. But the second thing is that she's very visible, and if she runs, where's she going to go?
Good point. Good point. So you do not consider her a flight risk. Everybody, police have just shown up outside the Anthony home. It's become quite the scene. There are protesters all over the place. Just released more audio tapes of police interrogation. Take a listen.
I want you to tell me, okay, this is I mean, is it that there's some other thing more important in your life right now that maybe maybe you just weren't really focused on what you were saying when you told us, so you kind of just accidentally told us you had an office here and we needed to be here because we might find stuff that would help, or did you lie to us purposely, or did you purposely mislead us? Which of those two is it?
I purposely misled.
Okay, so you purposely misled us. This was all in an attempt to help find your daughter, right? That makes sense to you, correct?
Again, in a backwards sort of way, yes.
Backwards sort
I'm
of way.
coming back to places that are familiar to me, that I know are familiar to her.
When the police do get involved, okay, when your parents involve the police in an attempt to locate your child because they're worried, the first thing you do, okay, is you lie to the detective whose job it is to try to find your daughter and get her back into safe hands, okay? You give him all kinds of bad addresses to look at, right? Okay, so far I'm on track, correct? Okay, then you bring us out to Universal where you say you work in an office to try to help find stuff that will help us find your daughter. I'm on track so far, okay? And we get here, we walk all the way down the hall to where you tell us, you don't really work here. You don't have an office here, okay? So far everything I've said is true, correct?
We're even pulling surveillance video from an apartment complex, and they have to keep this by law for several days, okay? And we're not seeing you over there. We're not seeing you there at all that day. Do you think that we're stupid and we're not going to do all this stuff? Okay, we're not seeing you there. So now, if you're not there, and you're not being seen there, and somebody's already saying that you're not there, and everything else you've told us is a lie, I can tell you for a certainty that right now, looking at you, I know that everything that you've told me is a lie, including the fact that, you know, your child was last seen about a month ago, and that you don't know where she is. See, I'm very confident, just by having talked to you this short period of time, that you know where she is.
I don't.
You do. And here's the thing, we need to get past that, because we can sit here and go back and forth all day long about I don't, I do, I don't, I do. It's pretty obvious that with everything that you've told us, nothing has been truth. You know where she is. Now, my question to you is this. We need to find Caylee. I understand that right now, Caylee may not be in very good shape. You understand what I'm saying? She may not be the way we or the way your family last remembers her. We need to find out from you where Caylee is. This right now is just, this is going so far downhill, and this has become such a mess that we need to end it. It's very simple. We just need to end it.
I agree with you. I have no clue where she is.
Sure you do.
If I knew in any sense where she was, this wouldn't have happened at all.
How old is she?
Would help. She's almost 3.
She's almost 3. What do you think, she's going to take a cab here? I mean,
I know
how do you
she's
think
not.
she's going to get here?
Because she's with someone else. If I could find her,
She's
if I
with
could
someone
track
else.
her down,
She's
this wouldn't
with,
be happening.
okay, hold on a second. Let's put this together where it makes sense, okay? She's with someone else who's hid her from you for 5 weeks.
Yes.
Who let her call you on the phone yesterday, but then hung up. But you brought us here today because she might be here.
She could be anywhere.
To Dr. Janet Taylor, psychiatrist. Doctor, when you're being confronted with the fact that your daughter could be decomposing, and you just sit there and say, what is that?
Well, you know, there are a couple of things that really jump out. One is the complete lack of emotion, and this is right after she's reported Caylee missing. There's no emotion, no remorse. And the other thing, and she says, but she's confronted and caught in all these lies. She never says, I'm sorry, which indicates she has no remorse at all and just such little capacity for how she has hurt people. And it's extremely selfish and immature response.
You know, I just had twins. And when I think of one of them being missing, I can't even think about it.
Hey, right now she's more movie star than mournful mom. And, you know, with the sunglasses and the T-shirt tied up, it just, somewhere in her life, she has been hurt so badly that she just does not have the capacity to care for anyone else.
Are you making an excuse for her? Are you saying she was hurt?
Absolutely not an excuse, but people like Casey just aren't born necessarily. They are, you know, certainly they evolve and things have happened to them.
I don't know, doctor. I was with you until you got to that hurt thing. I think some people are just plain mean and selfish. We'll take it up after the break. Everybody, Amber Alert. There is a search right now for 3 siblings aged 3, 4, and 6 missing West Valley City, Utah. Xiomara, Pablo, and Alicia Hernandez last seen August 31 with their dad. He does not have custody. He vanishes with the children. Israel Hernandez believed to be on the run with the kids, possibly to Mexico. Police on the lookout for a black Escalade or maroon Chevrolet Corsica. Please take a look. If you have info, call West Valley Police 801-840-4000.